Hey everybody, this is Robbie and you are watching Geek Level Asian. We are again about to talk about Power Rangers, Super Sentai, and all of that good stuff. But before we move ahead, if you'd like to help me and support my videos, don't forget to smack that like button. So a few weeks ago, I'm sure most of you have already seen it, but the Illuminati had announced that there's some speculation that Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger is going to be our next adapted Power Ranger series. And hey, I have no problem with Ryusoulger. I've gotten through almost all of it, and I happen to like it as a series. But there's a few things that I have to say about that. So for anyone who followed Super Sentai and Power Rangers, I know you already know this, but I figure it makes sense to kind of just talk about it a little bit. Since Zyuohger was adapted into Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, every year since we've been alive, basically, we've gotten a consecutive Power Ranger series out of the next Super Sentai series. Maybe not a whole season's worth of series, but we at least got the characters. That seemed to be the working formula for years and years and years until we got to Kishiryu Sentai GoKaiger, or Super Mega Force to all of you Power Ranger fans. So if you follow Super Sentai, you already know that after GoKaiger, we in America missed different series and we went straight to Kyuranger, which is Dino Charge. So now why is any of this relevant? Good question. When Hasbro took over Power Rangers, when they bought Power Rangers, they decided to go back in time and release GoBusters, which is the series that came right after GoKaiger. So Super Sentai fans like myself were all very excited because we thought, oh man, are they gonna go and adapt all of the series that we missed? Well, if the speculations about Ryusoulger are true that it's gonna be the next adapted series, then we are not going to get some of our favorite Super Sentai series that we thought were going to be adapted now by Hasbro. Now, let's be realistic. When it comes to the decision-making process, I totally understand why Hasbro's doing it, and this is a money thing. Remember, Power Rangers is a business. There's always the business behind it. I get it. And since the beginning, not only in Japan, but in America also, the Dino seasons always do really well. And if you look at Super Sentai ratings over the course of time, even in Japan, they've been kind of not doing too well. So if I was Hasbro and I saw the declining ratings in Japan, I would obviously have to think about two different things. What are the toy sales like in America, and what are kids buying, and what are they still interested in? And will those series that are declining in Japan do the same thing in America? So I get it. They want to bring back Dino real fast because Dino seasons seem to perform the best. So for money reasons and for Hasbro, I totally get it. It's a business move. But now let's talk about us, the fans, and why, for two reasons, this is a little bit frustrating. The first one is just the enjoyment of the seasons in general. Listen, I'm not the biggest ToQger fan. I am not the biggest Zyuohger fan. But some of my friends, those are their favorite seasons, and for them, that is extremely disappointing because, again, we were kind of teased with GoBusters when it became Beast Morphers. We thought we were going to get ToQger and Zyuohger, which obviously isn't happening. Now, that's a little thing. The second thing is a bigger thing, and this goes into why I think a lot of people were disappointed with Legendary Battle from Super Mega Force. So as I mentioned earlier, since Zyuohger, we've been adapting every Super Sentai series into Power Rangers, but then when it came to Legendary War, which was actually the great hero battle from Kishiryu Sentai GoKaiger, there were a lot of characters, there were a lot of people in suits, basically. There's a lot of suit actors and a lot of different Rangers that American fans didn't recognize, and they didn't really write that in very well, so a lot of people were very confused as to why are you including all of these Rangers, but again, you have to remember that it is footage that they're, like, editing down, so it's very hard not to have those people in the background. Listen, I get both sides. Now, the reason I'm bringing all this up is because it's really a get-together, it's a huge team-up of different teams, right? And that's usually for fans, like this really big, momentous occasion. And in Japan, it did really well. In America, it didn't perform as well. And one of the biggest complaints from fans, and don't get me wrong, I mean, obviously, there was a starting point, which was, you know, Zyuohger, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. They obviously can't go back in time and just say, you know what, we really should have adapted Jetman and Bioman and everything so that Legendary Battle would have been great. Who knew that that was ever going to come out? But that was a big complaint from fans. They were like, well, you know, they didn't really incorporate the older Rangers or the older suits into Power Rangers, so it kind of didn't make sense to have them there. And a lot of people complained about how much it was cut down. listen, it's a double-edged sword. There was a lot of problems. There's always a lot of problems when you're taking a story and turning it into a different one. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up and why this is relatable is because, in my opinion, in the past few years, the best thing that Super Sentai has released is the Super Sentai Strongest Battle. Although it wasn't as big of an event in regard to bringing back actors, you still had members from GoKaiger, Kyuranger, ToQger, Zyuohger. Now, I'm bringing this up because it would be really smart for Hasbro to include these teams so that we can bring Strongest Battle to America in a few years. But instead, and this is again because they have to make the decision of what's going to make the most money when it comes to the seasons and what we should put out, they're gonna adapt Ryusoulger. Well, we just skipped so much stuff, and that's also, I didn't even think about this until just now, that's also a missed opportunity because at the end of Strongest Battle, that was the introduction to the Ryusoulgers. We meet Ryusoul Green, Black, and what was his name? Zyuohger. We bring those characters into Strongest Battle, and we're not gonna do it, or we're not gonna introduce the characters that are supposed to be a part of it. It just, listen, I see both sides. Like, Hasbro needs to make money. I get it, they need to make money, but at the same time, like, storyline-wise, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot, which Power Rangers has been suffering from not adapting seasons that are the seasons of old, let's just say. So I don't know, maybe I'm alone in my principles, but that's how I feel about this news, which again, it hasn't been officially announced, but we can kind of already accept, right, that Ryusoulger is going to be the next one that's adapted. And again, I want to mention, I like Ryusoulger. I like it, don't get me wrong, but there's other seasons that I like too, especially Kyuranger. And it's funny because I didn't talk about it earlier in the video, but Kyuranger is like maybe my second or third favorite Sentai. That's such a big team, like that in itself is a missed opportunity in toy sales, Hasbro. You could be making more money. But I don't know, let me know what you think. What series do you think should be the next adapted Power Ranger series? Should they go in order since GoBusters and just go from there like I think they should do? Or do you want to maybe skip to Kyuranger? Or maybe you just want Zyuohger? Let me know down in the comments. I am curious to know. And if you haven't done it already, if you'd like to support my channel, you can always smack that like button. If for some reason that you like to see this face and you want to see it talk more about Power Rangers and Super Sentai, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you'd like to, like I say in every video that I've ever made, you can always follow me on social media. I'm on all the social media channels, but I use Instagram the most. So as always, everybody, be good and may the power protect you, double fist. Oh my god, I'm so sick.